What is shaking YouTubenites? And welcome to another edition of the Cover Price Shakers List. Now, before we get started, and since there isn't anybody actually in the crowd yet, we want you to congregate as we play a little music. I know the selection is limited, but I'm going to play one of my favorites.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. What have I got? EA Sports. Here we go.
Round one, fight! Oh, you get...
What do you mean chat's disabled?
So
what are you even talking about?
If you go onto YouTube right now
What?
and you look at the live stream,
Well, show is about the chat. I can't do the show without the live chat.
It says chat has been disabled for this stream. That's
Why?
I don't know. What did you do
What
to piss
is
off the
up
YouTube
with
people?
that? Is
But-
Cover Price watching? What's going on?
Fun. It's fun. Welcome to the show. You're good being on the rewind. You're going to leave some comments down below. We will get past this. Hopefully next week we will figure this out. In the meantime, if you want your comments read because it is significant and substantive, then hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Dr. Yo-Yo. You can send me the chat. I'm going to open up my chat right now on Instagram. If you want to hit me up, then JD says chat is disabled for this show.
All
That's
right.
incredible.
Everything-
All right, well, you know what?
Thank
if
you.
Cover Price is watching, if the excuse me, if the owners of Cover Price are watching, and you guys can toggle that switch, please do, so we can have the chat. So we will get started. Gabe, you want to say hi before we?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. What's up, everybody? I'm glad to be back here. It's old school. We got some old school Lords of Longbox here with me and my boy JB hanging out tonight. And of course, you know, we always got Chris on Thursday nights. So this is gonna be a fun show. Some interesting stuff on the list. It's another, I know we call it the Ofer list, but I always like to call it the proof of life list. Because this is going to be one of those lists where if you have that book, you want to show it off on Instagram and tag all of us on it because I want to see it too. Because there's some fun stuff this week.
That's
Cool.
right. That's right.
Absolutely. And Chris, you kind of already got us started, so I guess we'll just get the show started because now I'm all messed up, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm all messed up. I'm serious.
I'm in the chat. I got 10 out of 10 this week.
I've
Everybody.
never done this show without the live chat. I mean, like, I'm literally shaking right now without the what am I supposed to highlight. You know
Oh,
what?
you're fine. You're fine. You'll do
If I'm not
fine.
going to highlight comments, then I'm just going to actually hold on. There's one in there. Is it from you?
No, that's from me because I got 10 out of 10 this week. Prove it wrong.
I
Oh,
can't.
oh, a comment. Oh,
I can't highlight the comments. You know what that means? I'm going to be all over this board of crazy videos.
oh, you would have done
Chris.
that. Yes,
What it also means is,
it is.
hey, everybody, take this opportunity and make your comments after the show's over in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Blow
Tell us,
up
what
the YouTube
your,
comments.
tell us what your ratio was. Tell us about your 0 out of 10 at the end in the comment section.
0 out of 10. What a bunch of rookies. I got 10 out of 10. It says so right in the chat.
All right, you guys ready? Let's get this thing started.
Yeah.
Officially, here we go. This list comes from our friends at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shaker list. Now, this list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. Gabe, what have we got at number 1?
All right. Number 1 this week, we've got, check it out. It's Curse of Cleveland County, number 3. This is the Shavita Shabina, say that 3 times fast, variant, which was a 1-in-10 ratio coming out from Source Point back in 2023. So Shavita Shabina has been on a massive run with her recent work on the Pinapocalypse series from Massive. Her cover for the 1-in-25 incentive variant for issue 1 put her in the spotlight for collectors. Since that release back in January, many fans have been seeking out any cover that predated that book. So her first published work was in 2023, which was a variant for the title Nightwalkers. Another one of the earlier covers for Shabina, her second published work actually was a 1-in-10 variant cover for the issue of Curse of Cleveland County number 3. Or Clever County number 3. This incredibly hard to find book reached an all-time high this past week when one collector forked out a whopping $250 for a raw near mint copy. This book is one that could be worth grabbing if you come across it in LCS, as they don't seem to be available for sale very often online. So keep looking, keep digging in those long boxes, folks, and look for this cool cover if you want Shabina's early work. I guess is what we're talking about here today.
So check this out, man.
All right.
One of our viewers, Comic Web on Instagram, Brian. I'm not going to totally dox his full name, but he's the one who sold this. He listed it, and it sold within 8 minutes.
What?
Well, good.
You can hardly see them nipples.
That's right. So you know what? It pays to hit me up on Instagram because we get your comment read. But also it pays to list some of your rare books because this is definitely one of them. And 250 bones, no other competing offers, only up for 8 minutes. My goodness.
What possessed him to put that number on it? Just throw it out there and see if somebody bites? I mean,
I
come
think
on.
so. Yeah. I mean,
a 1 in
just-
10.
there aren't very many of these out there.
And he sold it in what? You said in 8 minutes?
8 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, he probably wow. He probably could have gotten more for that. Then who knows?
Probably
That's
could've,
awesome.
yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
Crazy.
Don't know anything about this artist. Don't know anything about this book or anything like that. But it seems to be, and I know Chris, you kind of fall into this bell curve of people who just love to find a popular artist and then go look for their original work.
Yep.
Or their earliest work.
Yep,
So
I do that. That is a thing that I do.
that seems to be a thing a lot of people do, and they're forking out $250 for a cool artist's original old school early work. So
Yeah. I tend to do it before the prices jump way up there like this. Okay, I would imagine this would probably pull $1,000 graded easy.
That's
At a 9.8, probably.
All right, folks. Did you have it? Well, I know someone who sold it, so he doesn't have it anymore. But
I got a 10 out of 10, JB. I have this book, yeah.
Get Curse of Cleaver County, issue number 3, the Sveta Shabina variant, a 1 in 10, originally published in 2023. You know what, Chris? I bet you know something about this next book. What do we got at number 2?
Well, let me just roll for initiative here because I got Dungeons and Dragons, the Character Monster Assortment by TSR 1982. Now, this is pre Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons goodness right here. This is pre Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This is your original Dungeons and Dragons. This is some cool stuff. It is crazy to think that D&D has been around for 50 years and is still going strong. The recent movie did not live quite up to expectations, but it had some fun stuff going on in it. And there's a live action series coming up on Netflix, as where it's a virtual platform that allows players to engage in role-playing games from the comfort of their own homes, COVID style, while connecting with other players. Amazingly, people kept the assortment of hardcover books and modules in pristine condition, sometimes still sealed after all of these years. And then they had the foresight to send it to CGC for grading. Recently, Cover Price noticed a module from 1982 selling for $2,000 in a grade 8.5. This week, a character and monster book assortment sold for a record high of $426 for a graded 9.8, which is double the sale from last August. I dig. This is Chris talking. I dig the fact that Cover Price has D&D modules inside their database, with over 800 D&D titles that have been published by TSR since 1974. Collectors have a ton of gold to mine when looking for anything related to this property. Hey, JD, pull.
I will put you full screen, Chris, but I do have a question.
This sounds very nerdy. Is this a nerd thing?
It's definitely a nerd.
I don't do nerd
No,
things.
it's not nerdy. It's not.
Okay, first of all, JB, I know for a damn fact that you do nerd.
Yeah, I did.
None of us do nerdy things. It's just you, Chris. It's just you.
Oh, shit. All right, here you go, Chris.
Look at this. Look at the cool stuff right here. Look at that baby right there.
So these are hardcover. I didn't know that there were grading hardcovers.
Yeah, man. These are low quality grades, but this is some good stuff right here. I can go on and on and on.
Oh my goodness, how many of these do you have, Chris?
Look at this old Dungeon Master guide right here.
Oh, wow.
This is some good stuff. These are.
I love that. I love that Devil's Gold bikini, man. That's the best.
Yeah, man. I knew you'd be into that game. That's why I brought it up.
Send it to me, please.
So yeah,
What else you got?
This is pretty good. Hey, chat, I just got word from our friends over at Cover Price saying that live chat was turned on. So please go on over, give it a try. You can always hit the F5 button on your keyboard to refresh and let us know, okay? If it doesn't work, then hit me up on Instagram and I will continue to bug the team about it. All right. Yeah, hey, look at that. We got a comment. Put it on the screen.
Woo!
This is our first comment of the night.
We are back, baby.
18 minutes in, and we finally got some people here to chat with.
Now you only have to hit me up on Instagram if you absolutely want to. And please
are back. The chat is back. Best part of the show. Thank you guys for sticking around to get that worked out. Chris,
Victoria, JD, Rudy, Derek, we need to know where you're at. You got 1 of 1, you got 2 of 2 yet so far. We need to see some stats.
And everybody watching, that really was another perfect person to get that read. Perfect person to get that read. All right.
So I think it's time for people with this D&D stuff is getting graded. It's time to go look at your Goodwill and your swap meets and like your record stores and places like that where you find old D&D modules. Man, you might find some gold in there before
what category is this to be graded? Because I mean, they're grading hardcover books.
Buying them the whole time. What are you talking about, Gabe? You're too late. You're too late to the race, man. D&D books. I've been buying and reselling them for years.
Mining that gold for years.
That's right. Didn't even occur to me to get them graded. That's a great idea. I don't have anything that's clean enough for that, but good stuff.
It might be like with video games where people just graded everything, and even like low graded stuff was selling for money. So, word.
All right. At number 2, Shaker, Dungeons & Dragons Character and Monster Assortment hardcover book. Graded in a CGC 9.8. Didn't know they did that. $426. Got to be a big-time fan. All right, what have we got at number 3, Gabe?
Kind of got a theme this week with like monsters and stuff like that. So this, for number 3, we got Halloween, The First Death of Laurie Strode. Number 2, this is the Scott Keating 1 in 10 variant that came out from Devil's Due back in 2008. So a horror icon for nearly 50 years, Michael Myers is one of the most recognizable figures in all of pop culture. Debuting in the 1978 film Halloween, Michael has been featured in 11 more films since and has been featured in everything from novels, video games, comic books, shirts, toys, blankets, shower curtains, all kinds of stuff. Michael, along with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, helped usher in an era of slasher films that is still revered by fans and has helped spawn films like Terrifier and In a Violent Nature. Myers made his comic book debut in 2000 in Chaos's Halloween #1, The Ash Can. For that issue has gone on to become an highly sought-after book that sells for over $500 raw. That book, along with books such as Halloween Night Dance #1 and the GITD fandom variant, are books that have climbed in higher demand and aftermarket price for Michael Myers collectors. Another Halloween book that has reached similar levels is this 1 in 10 variant to Halloween, The First Death of Laurie Strode #2. This book has been hovering in the $30 to $60 range for raw copies until this past week when a very fine raw copy sold for $150, which is a new all-time high. The previous high was set in 2022 when a near mint copy sold for a measly $75.
Why? Why $150 for this book now when it was $75 just a couple of years ago?
It was $175 for a VF, so that's like an 885, and you could have gotten near mints for $75.
$75.
Yeah, while lesser quality is going for $150 now.
Well,
What's going on?
Near mint for $75 3 years ago. That was the
2 years ago wasn't that long ago. That's but still, it's hey, I get it. It might be
Is this
just
a
hard to find.
completionist?
Collectors
Is this
are crazy out there. It's
You
okay.
think this buyer is chasing the artist? This buyer is a completionist to the Halloween storyline? What do you think this buyer was thinking when he dropped $158 on a VF Raw?
Probably, whoa, man, this pot's really hitting deep.
That's classic. You are classic. All right, folks. At number 3, Halloween, the first death of Laurie Strode, issue number 2, the Scott Keating variant. It's a 1 in 10. It was published back in 2008 from Devil's Due, big time publisher, right? Come on, that's what you want to do. All right, next up, Chris. What have we got?
For Shaker number 4, we got Hellboy, the Fury number 3. This is the Mike Mignola Virgin variant by Dark Horse in 2011. Hellboy, the Fury number 3 is a landmark issue that concluded 18 years of Hellboy storytelling with one of the most shocking moments in the character history. His brutal final battle with, I'm going to say, Nemu? I'm going to go with that. Who had transformed into a dragon and was the vassal for Ogdru Jahad, ends with Hellboy's heart being ripped out from his chest. His death marking the end of his time on Earth. This was a major surprise to fans, as the impending death was not widely telegraphed prior to release, and the issue sold out immediately. What makes this book even more elusive is the ultra-rare Virgin variant by Mike Mignola, which has since become one of the most sought-after modern Hellboy comics. The rarity stems from Dark Horse's strict retailer qualification requirements. To receive the Virgin variant, comic shops had to match or exceed their order issue number 1 with a minimum of 20 copies. If the store ordered just 19 copies of number 1, they didn't get one, creating a situation where very few qualified, especially during the 2011 period, when retailers were struggling to even sell major Marvel titles like Amazing Spider-Man, which saw some of the lowest print runs that year. Compounded by the surprising twist of low ordering numbers, this variant quickly became a ghost. Its scarcity had published its value steadily upward, recently hitting a record all-time high for $2,750 for a CGC 9.8.
Herbert.
I was waiting for that. After this issue, Hellboy's story continued in Hellboy in Hell, where he defeated Satan and assumed the rule of hell itself. His resurrection did not occur until 2018's The Devil You Know miniseries, marking a long stretch where a death in comics actually stuck. While this quick summary only scratches the surface, the Fury remains one of the most powerful and essential chapters in the Hellboy mythos, and this variant is a true crown jewel for collectors. You know, I really love the fact that that Hellboy is getting some love, and it's not, you know, necessarily tied to a new movie coming out or something. This is just fans of the series appreciating the series. It was good.
Shout out to the writers at Cover Price. Come on with that information. That is fantastic. At number, what are we at? That was number
4.
At number 4, Hellboy the Fury, issue number 3, the Mike Mignola Virgin variant. By the way, if you are following along either on the rewind or live, and I know we're mostly seeing offers, but if you get one of these books, please post it on social media and tag Cover Price and us. We'd love to see them. All right, what have we got next, Gabe?
All right, number 5, Historitalis.
What?
Number 485.
Hysteritas?
Historitas.
Oh, so like margaritas. All right.
Margaritas, historitas. It's like
Hideo Taro Espanto.
That's a made-up word. Well, all words are made up. Either way, Historita is number 485 from Editora Sol, 1960. So we got a good, cool back issue here for all of our foreign collectors who like to get those foreign books. Despite America being the centerpiece for comic book production and creation and delivering it to the rest of the world, you're welcome. The rest of the world has and still does enjoy a weird tale of terror or two. Take this book, a Mexican Historitas, or comic strip featuring a story from Blue Bolt Weird Tales of Terror number 117, and a cover from legendary Golden Age artist L.B. Cole. We won't get into the story details, but suffice to say, it played upon ancient curses and Native American lore in a way that played up the superstition, the chupacabra and skinwalkers. Spooky stuff, everybody, and a genre that has seen an explosion in popularity. Previously, this book was a foreign book for those who wanted the Blue Bolt American version, as the few times it was sold were around $50 for a raw copy. But for a low-grade copy of Blue Bolt, the price tag was in the hundreds, and it was rising. But recently, that trend may have changed. A CGC 4.5 copy and the highest grade on the census recently sold at Heritage for a whopping $2,880, surpassing the last sale of $780 for the English version in the same grade. Heck, the recent 2,880 sale surpasses every sale for the English version in any grade that we have a record of by nearly $900. The foreign market is a subset that has flown under the radar for decades, but has slowly seen a rise in interest as collectors shift their collecting approaches. There's been a shift towards the rare and macabre, and this book checks both of those boxes.
Wow. So the artist was L.B. Cole. Is that on the cover or is that in the book?
It must be in the book. I don't see any name. They don't really put names of artists on the covers back in the 60s.
All right.
Yeah.
Man.
So I have
it is. And cover. It is. It says and cover from Legendary.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So
Man.
I had to.
You asked me if it was listed on the cover.
Chris,
I had to Google Translate. Historitas translates to comics, and then the title is Fear, Terror, Scary. The monster.
Just put that on there. Why make it all difficult?
All right. It was a dark creature, a destructive, diabolical being. The Indian curse feared by all, known as the monster of the pit.
Chris, you're into foreign books, right? You get the foreign stuff sometimes?
Yeah.
It never appealed to me. I don't know about you, JB.
I'm afraid of foreign books. I swear to God, they can be printed literally next door, and I could not tell you.
I like the foreign version of like key issues, right? That's what I like.
But I wouldn't know if it was a reprint of a foreign. I wouldn't know at all. You know.
I've never seen the appeal. I couldn't read it, so it never. The only ones that are kind of interesting to me are the Spanish Spider-Man books, where they continue the storyline with Gwen Stacy still being alive. And
Cool.
Dunk. Like that's kind of interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
but anything else besides that just doesn't really hit my radar or doesn't float my boat.
Super bold. They're like, no, you're not killing her. No. We're just going to go ahead and write our own story from now on.
Yeah, we're going to do the right thing and not kill like the most interesting character in the book.
So the Hombre Orcana is the reason why I started collecting foreign comic covers, because I dug the idea so much that I just kept on going. So yeah, it's a thing.
It's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. All right, at number 5, we've got Historitas, issue number 485. originally published in 1960 from Editora Sol. Now, we are at the halfway point, and we will have that call to action. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, what the hell, man? Come on. It's free. Hit the button, hit the bell so you don't miss the next time we go live. We go live multiple times on the platform, including Tuesday's Top 10 and Friday night. If you guys aren't coming by Friday night, come back on Friday night for Comics Covered with the co-founders Matt and John. It is a fun time Friday nights. All right. What have we got at number 6, Chris?
Number 6, we have House of Mystery number 196 by DC Comics in 1971. And check this out, guys. Now, Cover Price has covered the resurgence of Bronze Age horror titles quite a good bit recently. Not all horror titles have to be pre-code in order to have some value. There are plenty of Silver and Bronze Age out there that have a lot of value, including House of Secrets number 103 or Secrets of Haunted House number 5. It's one where like the goblins crawling out of the jack-o'-lantern. It's pretty cool. Those are well-known collectible covers. There are many books from this era that continue to climb in price as more collectors become aware and seek them out. It's also worth noting that the majority of the books in this era are more difficult to track down in high grades because of the quality of the paper and the lack of care people had when it came to keeping their collectibles pristine and mint. I remember, baseball cards and the spokes and things like that. It's very hard to find a near mint or near mint plus copy, thus leading to the premium prices that we are seeing lately. One book that has proven to be tough to find in a high grade is this cover of House of Mystery. This book, featuring an excellent cover by the legendary artist Tony De Zuniga, can be picked up for about $100 or so in near mint raw, but for a graded CGC 9.8, the price jumps significantly. It jump scares significantly. This past week, we saw a CGC 9.8 copy sell for an eye-popping $2,040, an all-time high.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Yes. I, too, love terrible and made-up accents.
What do you mean? That was perfect.
That was perfect.
KGB,
I love House of Mysteries.
KGB.
I love House of Mysteries. I love books from the early 70s. I chase books from 72. This is right in the sweet spot, man. I love this kind of book. But a CGC 9.8, where the hell did someone have this laying around to get a 9.8 from a book?
Tim would say this is some time machine stuff right here.
Good Lord. Good Lord. All right. At number 6, we've got House of Mystery, issue number 196 from 1971, DC. Gabe, what have we got next?
JB, what we have next for number 7 is another monster, creepy, horror kind of book. It's a theme this week. It feels like it's Halloween all of a sudden. So we're talking about it's On Raven's Wings, number 2 from Boneyard Press back in 1994. Love those 90s comics. As Gerard Way continues to make a name for himself as a comic book industry professional, his past work continues to climb in value. On Raven's Wings is actually the first comic he ever published, and he accomplished this when he was only 16 years old and going by Gary Way. Even at a young age, he was already well in touch with his signature dark and gritty style, as this 2-part series is centered around a serial killer who believes he is a superhero. The first issue of this miniseries started climbing to new heights last year, but runoff attention has continued to land on the second and final issues as well. Aside from being the frontman of My Chemical Romance, he's most well known for being the creator of The Umbrella Academy, a popular comic and TV show. A follow-up series titled The Umbrella Academy Plan B is set to release in June of this year. So it comes to no surprise that collectors are picking up tangentially related books. Also, given that this was published in the 90s by Boneyard Press, this is a relatively hard to find pickup. Recently, a raw VF copy of this comic was bought for $160, which almost doubles the previous high of even near mints. I'm starting to see a trend here of very fine copies toppling the prices of near mints. Either way, at this point, I think it's safe to say that Gerald Way is here to stay, and that's probably a good thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to use one of these. There's a lot of horror. Read the tea leaves, folks. This is a hot genre right now. This might be the hottest genre right now, and I don't see it cooling off.
Yeah.
No, horror stuff is really coming back around, like horror movies and people getting back into like horror stuff and slashers. So get those horror books, guys.
This looks like something that you would find in the dollar bins, like the antique mall or something like that. When the vendors got $1 books or $2 books, they just got a bunch of long boxes for you to dig through.
Someone with 90s, nah.
Yeah, man, this is
something you find in your nephew's bedroom. Like, man, my nephew's got some sick problems.
The same guy who would have this in their long box for $1 also has like cable number 1 for $15 hung on the wall in their area. This is it, man. This is what you got to look for. You got to look for this weird crap like this because you never know. He could be sitting on a 150.
And again, another example of someone going back and looking for a creator's first bit of work. That seems to be the new. I know it's been a trend for a while. We talked about it on the show a lot, but it really seems to be a new kind of collector niche is to find like the first stuff of creators. It's always been around, but it seems to be really popping up more these days.
Can anybody name another title that Boneyard Press produced in the 90s?
No.
All right. There you go. At number 7, On Raven's Wings, issue number 2, originally published in 1990 for the 90s. They were good. From Boneyard Press. Chris, what have we got at number 8?
Let's sprinkle a little bit of sci-fi into this horror genre show we got going on tonight. We got Predator number 1, the newsstand edition from Dark Horse in 2009. Newsstand 2009. You are looking at less than 1% of total print distribution here. The Predator is an iconic 80s film that has transcended film. The character and the lore have led to an entire brand that has spawned an enormous amount of merchandise for fans of the series, as well as the various crossovers. Most famously, the Weyland-Yutani shared universe and Aliens vs. Predators. Dark Horse Comics first introduced Predator in comics in 1989. And Dark Horse published hundreds of Predator-related titles right up until 2022, when Marvel Comics began publishing the character. Now, since Marvel is owned by Disney, that makes Predator a Disney princess.
Get out of here with that.
Since then, Marvel has used the character for multiple solo series, as well as a few crossover series that were once a dream for the 12-year-old. I would imagine this is one of the writers of Cover Price. This is 12-year-old me. It's not 12-year-old me. In Predator versus Wolverine, Predator versus Spider-Man, Predator versus Black Panther. The move to Marvel Publishing, combined with the recent successes of the Prey film, which was excellent, as well as future Predator films, has led to a small rejuvenation in Predator books. One book set at all-time high recently, and that is Predator number 1, DC Comics, the newsstand version from 2009. This book sold for $750 in a graded CGC 9.8. While the standard version can be purchased for about $10 in a near mint raw, finding a newsstand copy in a high grade, that is going to be hard to find. You have to go on a hunt. There's also a limited to 1,000 copy variant for this issue that sells well, but nothing approaching this new high sold price for the newsstand edition.
Newsstand?
All right, here's the chart. What are we talking about? 2006?
No, 2009.
9?
Yeah, you're looking at
Lord.
probably less than 1%, especially because we're talking about Dark Horse here. And that graphic that we put up, this is mostly Marvel and DC, right? Like the Image Comics newsstand and the Dark Horse Comics newsstand, those are even harder to find because nobody was buying those from distributors for the newsstand stuff.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, at number 8, Predator, issue number 1, the newsstand edition from 2009. We only got a couple left, Gabe. What do we got next?
All right, coming up next, number 9 is Previews Volume 2, number 3 from Diamond Comic Distributors, rest in peace, from 1992. Although Todd McFarlane officially released Spawn number 1 in May of 1992 via Image Comics, the popular character's quote-unquote first appearance remained hotly debated, and it's super annoying. That's coming from Gabe. More than 30 years after Spawn's debut, collectors have flocked to early previews and ads of the indie anti-hero, including this issue of Previews. Spawn was first invented by Todd McFarlane in 1977, but in 1991, according to the archives at Spawn World, he started to tease Spawn art he had been working on while at Marvel in issues of Advanced Comics and in the Previews magazine. In September of that year, Spawn graced the cover of the VHS series Comic Book Greats, which is totally awesome, and you guys need to check out that entire series, leading to more exposure. By 1992, McFarlane was regularly doing interviews about the launch of Image Comics and several of the series they were getting ready. In February 1992, Comics Buyer's Guide published the first look at Spawn, including a look at the cover and some interior artwork as well. During the last week of February 1992, both Advanced Comics number 41 and Previews number 3 ran features on Spawn while listing Spawn number 1 as orderable for the first time. While the order book for Advanced Comics also showed the Spawn number 1 cover art with a prototype logo, Previews number 3 features Spawn in full color on the cover alongside new artwork. Previews number 3 also featured a fold-out glossy cover of Spawn, a fold-out glossy poster of Spawn. This week, the aforementioned book hit a new high as they're grading Previews magazines now? A graded 8.5 sold for $725. Currently, raw, very good copies of the issue are commanding just under $100.
Chris, can we do it? Previews.
Move this man!
Preview magazines? Come on, people.
It's getting out of control. There's a few things here that I'm not going to get ranted on. I'm not going to rant on and be crazy, but still. One, the whole trying to find the very first time Spawn ever appeared in an ad or in the back of a book or all that is crazy town. Spawn number 1 is his first appearance. There you go. Get over it. Then grading Previews magazines and grading all of these other kind of tribute or mail order catalogs and ads, that doesn't count as first appearances. Getting it graded, do what you want, but that's crazy town. That is out of control. That just seems to be another situation of just people trying to say, nope, I got something better. Mine's better. This is better because it's a Spawn and his has a poster and it's graded and it's 8.5, and that's craziness. This is all out of control nonsense to me. Spawn number 1, enjoy it.
I'm gonna take the other side. I feel it.
Cover and be the cool guy.
Chris is gonna go the other way, aren't you, Doc? Come on.
I got a piece of toast from 1989 that has Spawn's likeness on it. Therefore, that makes it the first appearance of Spawn and his nipple to groin costume details. Can't unsee it.
All right, so we're all in agreement. Previews don't count.
No.
Can't. They can't. People throw them away. They're just like,
it's an ad. It's not a comic book.
It's an ad.
Especially a phone book. I don't know how big were they in '94. I wonder. Either way, of shoes.
Give me $20 for the toast. Oh man!
It cost me $25 to get it slabbed, Jeff. Come on, you got to do better than that.
I'll tell you a funny story about JCPenney catalog. So my wife and I have been doing this estate sales. If you saw my Instagram, I actually ran into 6 Series 1 Star Wars figures in an estate sale. But we're cruising estate sales, and sometimes there's just nothing, right? There's nothing. And I run into this JCPenney catalog, and I'm just sitting there flipping through it while my wife goes through the house. And I flipped through that catalog for, I don't know, an hour. And it was like going through my childhood memory. When I got to the toy section, I almost bought that sumbitch just for the toy section of that JCPenney catalog. Seriously. All right. At number 9, previews volume 2, number 3 from Diamond. Originally published in 1992.
These weren't even given to customers. These are supposed to be just for like the retailers to like order from.
Yeah. You know what? Diamond could probably get themselves out of bankruptcy by back selling all the issues that they have in their warehouse. Probably.
First lingerie book. Yeah. All right, Gabe, take us home.
No.
Chris, take us home.
All right, and to round out our O for Abyss, we got Sharp Comics from H.C. Blackberry in 1946, and an obscure publisher from the 1940s. H.C. Blackerby published one of the published mostly one-shot comics like Bingo Comics and Warrior Comics and Sharp Comics for a few years during the end of World War II. At the time, superheroes were still a big draw for comic book audiences, but some publishers started delving into other genres, such as horror and crime stories. Now, almost 80 years old, Sharp Comics number 2 remains a gem for the golden age and rare collectors. In the past few years, several low-grade copies of this book have sold. In 2024, a good raw copy sold for $165, and this year, 2 graded copies have made their way to the market. In April, a graded 1.0 sold for $125. But that sale was quickly eclipsed when a graded 5.5 sold for $989, marking that as an all-time high for Sharp Comics number 2.
Wow. 1946, 5.5. I've never even heard of H.C. Blackerby. 1946, 10 center. I love the colors on this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. I don't know about the characters, but I like old comics.
Love me some old comics. Almost $1,000.
I love dudes that wear skirts.
What's that?
Also one of the co-creators is Dick Royce. And I think that that's important because it sounds like a porn star name, Dick Royce.
It sounds like a game show. He's one of the producers. All right. At number 10, Sharp Comics issue number 2, originally published in 1946 from H.C. Blackerby. Are we going to see what's shaking live?
Shake it.
Yeah, man.
Shaking it?
I do. I have it ready for you.
Seamless before we seamlessly transition, I got a question for everybody in the chat. And if you're watching on the rewind, are you It's a simple yes or no. Are you a member of Cover Price? Do you have a subscription? For less than the price of a McRib, you can have all of this content at your fingertips.
Or less chemicals.
Yeah, what are those forever plastics, right?
Yeah.
JB, JB, do you want to do the music video or not? It's up to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. So here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah. Oh, gone. Yeah. Comic Shaker dropping knowledge. This the real report. Panels flipping brainwaves, selling off the court. eBay bids climbing while it's big contort. Graphic gods rising, values they escort. Bags and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting cover. Watchmen, clocks ticking, raw great charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farmer. Spawn creeping shadows, horrorcore delight. Rob lifeled pouches, sweeping through the night. Bid wars wilder than Deadpool in a fight. Collectors burn fortune, pages igniting sight. First appearance crazy, Hulk in full rage. Auction hammer slamming price, wars engage. Holographic cover shining like a mage. Collector stacking comics, stacking up a stage. Bags and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting calmer. Watchmen, clocks ticking, raw graded charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farmer. Dark Knight hunting, vigilante cape degree. Venom's black resin, sticky symphony. Comics on eBay breaking economies. Panel shaking hands, history's decree.
All right, I guess I got to remove that then, right? And then go back to there and then put that back full screen.
That song's pretty wild, man. That's cool. I haven't seen that before.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he's got
watching
all
it?
kinds of cool stuff. Every month, I think he's had a new one.
Yeah, I'm got to get the next one I got lined up. It'll be different and weird, and yeah, that's the gig. All right, so here we are on Cover Prize. One little shout out before I get to see what's shaking. If you haven't already, please go and donate to Comic Books for Kids. It's a fundraising event sponsored by Cover Price. They have raised about just over $1,300 so far, and you can share and you can donate, and it enters you into a giveaway. This is important. Cancer sucks. Having gone through multiple family members having cancer scares and even losing quite a few of them. Cancer is terrible, and this foundation brings comics to kids who are in the hospitals, many of which are undergoing cancer treatments. Just put a smile on your face. It's a very important thing. All right, thanks. Thanks for chat about that. Okay, so let's go down to our daily shakers list.
All right, fun stuff, guys. What we got? Let's go.
Hey, we got the
live shakers.
Usual suspects up on the top row here.
Big money. 10.5 for a 5.0. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
I wonder if that's an all-time high for that grade.
It is not an all-time high. If it was an all-time high,
well, for that grade.
Oh, for that grade, yeah, it could be. Check this out. We have a Gregland 1 in 25 Edge of Spider-Verse selling for $3,200.
Seems like a deal.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. 9.8 of the arguably first appearance of the black suit, right? Or
second appearance?
No, this is the first Venom.
Oh yeah, you're right. And this one sold for $2,500.
What platform that sold on? Was that an eBay sale? That $2,500. I wonder what platform that sold on.
Good question. Don't know. Maybe that's a feature that Cover Price can add later on. What is this here? Scott Campbell gift goat bundle sealed, limited to 555.
Oh, great! Another blind box thing
from last year. My goodness. Some craziness right here. Sold for $1,600. Wow.
Let's click on that Superman book. Let's look at some old books on here.
Yeah, I like this one here. Lois Lane can do everything Superman can do.
I love Golden Age yellow covers, man. These things just pop. They're fantastic.
Absolutely.
All that yellow.
All that yellow.
And here's another classic Superman right here, number 5, Superman number 5 in a series.
Chris, do you have any 10-cent Superman in your collection?
I have 12-cent Superman. I don't have any 10-cent Superman.
I have one 10-cent Superman.
Nice.
Got it from my boy Biggie Shack.
Let's see here. Here's a Bill's Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz.
Nabisco mail away. Get your Oreos and get yourself a Wolverine, and then sell it 20 years later for $1,300.
You got to click on that Ghost comic right next to it, man. Look at that blonde in the red dress for Laura, and it's a creepy cover.
Yeah. Well, check this out.
Big, slow, lest you awaken the sleepers in the crypt. Whoa. This is awesome. I love this artwork so much.
Bondage too, man. She's bondaged.
Oh yeah. Man, this is a double whammy right here.
Red dress bondage. Woo. Check.
You got the same old, just a cut and dry hero of a guy in a yellow shirt with a gun.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Hey, I got this one. Not in a 9.8, but I got this one. J. Jonah Jameson with his own little battle armor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the Spider Slayers.
Cool. That's right.
Can you go back to the Green Lantern? I'm sorry. And what's the key factor? Why is that a key?
I think it's just a classic cover, but
it started the Neil Adams run and stuff. The first appearance is nada. It's just a classic Neil Adams cover.
That's a Neil Adams cover.
Yeah.
This is like one of the most iconic, classic Neil Adams. I think this begins. Does this begin the team up of Green Lantern and Green Arrow together, where they kind of have that kind of like walkabout, and it gets a little political and all that kind of good stuff there. So it's Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil. It's fantastic stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think you are right on there.
It's one of the it's one of the highlight crown jewels of the Silver Age. Is that book?
Yeah.
Start of the Bronze Age. All right.
Here we got the Whatnot trading pack Doom.
Chris, reach out to Chris. So he might license it to you for when they're coming to the stage.
You got the voice for it, JB. You could definitely be a strip club DJ, son.
This is a limited for $1,000 for a 9.8. All right.
That was on a top 10 on Tuesday.
What was that?
Scroll up to that Conan number 1.
Conan the Barbarian number 1.
Another one, just because somebody mentioned it in the chat. OLMD. This is also the one that's considered the start of the Bronze Age as well.
Yeah.
But this is back when Barry Windsor Smith was trying to be Jack Kirby. It was a Jack Kirby clone.
Yep. Give the square jaw.
Number 1.
Ooh, I have an ASM 5.
Nice.
Beat to hell. Probably not even a 2.5, maybe a 1.5.
Hey, check this out. Something's Killing the Children, number 1. This is finally getting some love here. $720 for a 9.8. You can get the reprints of this pretty easily, but yeah, this is pretty cool. There are a lot of variants of this. You can see all of these pretty cool covers right here. I've got 7th printings.
That's so crazy. Go click on that Tomb of Dracula, because that book is getting very, very affordable. $700 for a 6.5 is a nice price for the first Blade. And obviously it's because not only is everything kind of just settling, but that Blade movie is in like limbo. Who knows what's going to happen with it? But $700 for like a 6.5 is that's good money right there. That's a good buy. Can you look at the prices on this? How's it been?
Look at how they drew Blade though back then. I mean, that's not great.
I wish they kept them like that as opposed to being like a bondage guy.
So check this out. We were talking about foreign covers.
Give me the brown jacket and the green jeans. I'm in. And the green shades in the middle of the night. That's crazy. It's awesome.
Okay, so check out this Danish edition of this book. This is the kind of reason why I really dig the foreign covers, because I mean look at the colors on this. Look at the way it pops different. It's just so different. I really dig it. I mean, I would choose this over the English edition, honestly.
Chris, if someone gave one to you and it was fake, could you tell?
I don't know. I go ask my neighbor because he prints them.
You know what I'm saying? Because the paper quality is kind of like newspaper. It's just different. How would you know?
How would you know? First Iron Fist, I got this too. I'm expecting him to start appearing in the Disney Plus shows.
Look at that. $600 for a 9.6 or a Bronze Age book. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is cheap.
15-cent Hot Wheels book right here.
Yeah, that's Neil Adams right there again.
Yep.
I wish I could do a Hot Wheels comic book again. That would be awesome if they gave us some Hot Wheels comics today. Get something for the kids to get into comic books with.
I love this Nirvana homage. That Mike.
I wish I ever see a turtle dick. Where's the turtle dick?
It's in the shell.
He is water, so I get it.
Please highlight that Batman, please.
Which one? There's a bunch of them.
The 244. The from far left from 1970. Go ahead and make that a little bit bigger there.
Yeah, good old hairy manly chest Batman.
Well, if he's holding his outfit, then what is on Batman's lower body there? What is that?
His bat underoos.
He's got like tights
bat long johns
under the.
Yeah, he's wearing his bat long john underoos.
Okay.
One right next to it, that 232 is again one of the most iconic Neil Adams covers.
Yep.
That's a key too, though.
Yeah, it's the first Ra's al Ghul. That 141, Marvel Team at 141 is one of the maybe, but not really, definitely not, but people like to pretend it is first black suit Spider-Man.
You just have to have it. You have 141. You get the 252
early.
What's the last one?
And Secret Wars 8.
Secret Wars 8.
That's a great Art Adams cover. What else do you want?
Hey, I got Secret Wars 8 and the rest of the Secret Wars series for $90 the other day.
Nice. With an 8?
Fantastic condition. Number 8, yeah.
With an 8 for $90? Where at?
My guy who runs the antique mall and sells comics. And
I need to find
man, he had it marked at $150. I'm like, hey, I'll buy that. And he's like, okay, I'll sell it to you for $90. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Because I buy stuff from him all the time. And it's a really clean copy too. I wonder if it's accessible right now.
Secret Wars 8 is the first appearance in a black costume.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to do variants. Not going to do that. That wraps up the Shakers list.
That wraps the Shakers list. How do I remove that thing?
And
there we go.
There you go.
Excellent. We did it. We made it through. You know, we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, but we ended up pulling it through.
Nobody told me it was hat day today. I would have wore a hat.
Oh. Well,
Every day is hat day.
yeah, but see, your baldness looks good. Mine is not looking so good. I gotta cover that.
Oh,
up.
just give up the ghost, bro. Give up the ghost.
I know. I've been telling my wife I just need to just accept it and just go. But yeah, we're not there yet.
Just do it on accident like I did. You guys can just keep it up there.
You just did it on accident, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no.
Your pocket comb sitting in your drawer next to your toothbrush is like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Not giving up the ghost, man. Keep the dream alive, man. At least you're not one of those guys where it's like it's going here, but you grow it out all along. You know?
No. As a matter of fact, at one point, I was playing with all the different stuff, and the hairstylist was like, "You're just better off just going really, really short and just stop doing this thing that you're doing." And I'm like, all right. And
did you get a discount?
We just went really, really, really short. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Gabe. You want to say goodbye?
Everybody. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks for all the people in the chat who stuck with the kind of technical difficulties that we had, but we held in strong. That's what we do. Lords of the Long Box style, keeping Tim's memory and dream alive. Follow me on Instagram, Gabe Loves 90s Comics. If you're not already there, no big deal. It's all good. But thanks for having me on again, guys. It's always fun to talk comics and to let everybody know that previews and ad magazines don't count as appearances whatsoever. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Spawn #1 is the first real appearance of Spawn. Secret Wars 8, first appearance of the black costume. Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Yep. Oh, you're a 180 guy, Chris?
180.
I'm also at 299. I mean, he told us 299.
So somebody had a 180. You would trade him a 181 for it?
Well, I mean, 181's the first cover.
No, you're not trading him a 181 for a 180.
That's
you throwing out hypotheticals that'll never happen to me because I'm too. All right, unless I'm finding those on like the flea market or something like that, and people just don't know what they have. I'm never gonna end up with one probably.
You'll get one. Come on, man. You got Lords of the Long Box, man. Like I said, we stay strong. You get a Hulk 181.
If I can find stuff like this for cheap at the flea market, I can probably find a 181 too.
Hey, Laura, Bob, Dan, thanks for stopping in, Laura.
Yeah, Laura, you could have been on the show tonight, but no, still dodging me.
It's all good. We had a blonde in a red dress, bondage.
Yeah, we represent.
She was here in spirit. That sounds really awful and creepy, but whatever.
Folks, you can find me on Instagram at Dr. Yo-Yo. Hit me up. There's a link tree in my bio. Takes me to the eBay store, all of my other socials. I'm running a sale right now, 25% off of everything comic related. That's less than $50. So,
Chris, I don't care, man. Just tell me what your freaking eBay name is. Just say it.
Dr. Yo-Yo's Emporium.
There you go, folks. Please check him out on eBay. He's got all kind of cool shit there. It's okay to say. They don't pay us to do this. We do this for free. All right, guys. Chat, you guys are the best chat. Thanks for sticking with us through our technical difficulties. Remember, we are back on Tuesdays and we are back on Fridays with Comics Covered and the Founders. Don't forget, everybody, we had a good time. Peace.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.